There was one thing not mentioned. The 75 is taking a new.
Welcome everybody to Chop Shop TV. We're racing under the lights at Daytona International Raceway. Qualifying underway right now. Right now this is Christian Delgado on his out lap. Qualifying kind of important, I guess. Not to me specifically. I tend to get wrecked whether I'm in the front or back or middle. Some drivers I'm willing to bet are going to not qualify and stay in the back. Right now, Day at the top of the leaderboard's Hartung, and Williams very close. There's Hartung, just slightly quicker than Donnie. There's Ross, I think almost time. I wish SDK showed the third decimal after the third digit after the decimal, because I'm pretty sure they're just slightly off there. But welcome everybody. I appreciate you tuning in to watch all of you guys, everybody watching now, watching in the future. Hopefully we got the troubles out of our way, all the starting and issues. Looks like Delgado catching some wall there. Let's see, Striker. I think Striker's done. Let's see who's on the track. Culver. Jerry's slowing down. I'm trying to find someone. There's Nate Baker running way against the yellow line, and qualifying very, very hard at plate tracks. You got to keep that wheel as steady as possible up against the apron, but not touching the apron. It'll cause your car to wiggle, break a little free ever so slightly, cutting onto the apron there on the tri-oval. Not something I do. So I see some guys do it. Looks like that's gonna take Bigger to the top over John Hammond. Let's see who's out. Who else is out? There's David Miller. I think Miller's done. Delgado running another lap. You see Delgado here just a little bit off that yellow versus Biggert, who was a lot closer to the double yellow there on the inside. We'll see guys hug off the corner like that. Keep it down low, shortest way around the track. Some guys, like myself, will drift to the middle of the backstretch, kind of open up the steering and see if we'll get a mile an hour or so more. Delgado a little bit more above the yellow line. See him there, about half a lane over Nathan Biggert, who we could tell was just right on the yellow line, and that speed right there, that matters. That distance you're above the yellow line, like that matters. It translates into tenths, and that gets you a pole. Looks like Biggert's going to be our pole sitter today. Wait for these guys to grid up. Biggert, Hammond, Nagata, Hartung, Ross, Miller, Dario, Williams, Striker, Day top 10. So they start to pit. They start to hit the grid here. Verify my cameras. Looks like I don't have to adjust anything. Waiting for everybody to get going here. 90 laps at Daytona. And my chat box not popping up. Let me see if we can fix that.
I will. Once we get rolling here, guys, I'm going to stay up against the wall.
I think that should work. There we go. Oh, forgot to mute iRacing. Don't want to hear.
Any other final words before I click the disable chat?
No, yeah, you're going to disable my chat. So
these guys, I know I do. I get a little rowdy when I'm racing. These guys definitely might get rowdy in a plate race like this.
Mic on.
There we go. Okay, it's messing with the chat, trying to get everything working there, Lace. Last minute. Hello out there. Michael's mother See, we're Coulter towards the back. I don't think he qualified. There's Coulter, a great plate racer, great at these tracks. That's a nice car. He paints great cars. I think he painted Donnie's car also, who's running in 5th. Love the color scheme. Teammates there on the outside of John Ross. We're coming down the backstretch. Our race info for today. Here is 90 laps here, 4 total sets, 3 on the wall. I don't believe they'll need to really use them or go through all those sets there. We do get one faster pair at plate tracks, including Atlanta, which I consider now a plate track. A little bit more tire wear, but still pretty much flat out. Stage 1 is completion at lap 20. Once we tick over to 21, stage 2 is 45 completion. Once we tick over to 46. Once the 10th car crosses the line, it'll RC race control will throw the yellow. 100% fuel in all our series, and it's default setups, stock setups for all our series. Generate the track state, whatever the sim generates there. We're starting in sunset. I think that's when the practice started, because we're under the lights right now, and times 2 the acceleration, so we should be well under the lights there as we get ready to set. Biggert's going to take him to the green flag. Good jump by Biggert. He's going to have the 13 right against him. So we're going to see him send it off into turn 1. Good clean lap for everybody inside lane. Actually, everybody kind of spreading out single file. Caffrey stuck on the outside there. We'll see who starts to build an outside lane. That outside lane output deteriorated. Everybody getting single file. Pretty interesting there. We see the line. The 93 is stuck on the outside. I think that's the 93 of Andrew Payne. It is. They're Payne stuck on the outside now. It's going to lose a couple spots. Caffrey jumps outside. They might start to build an outside lane here. Donnie took a look with Malcolm just ahead of him in the 83. They jump back in. See Caffrey and Payne on the outside. Another car back here. I think it's Coulter. Also in the outside trying to draft up to the 77. Drafting very important here. Don't want to lose the draft. You'll go lap down. It's going to take a little bit to go lap down, but you definitely will if you don't get a yellow. Looks like Malcolm's shot ahead of Payne. Oh, that was Stryker just ahead of them guys. Taking a look outside, but goes back in line. Top 6 cars, pretty much single file with Malcolm on an island side by side behind them guys. Side draft, a big factor here. It'll definitely slow both the lanes down if you get side by side with no help, especially towards the pack, the tail end of the pack. Very important to keep cognizant, to keep aware of. Payne dives in as well as Caffrey. Maybe just dive in to get a draft. No, they stay in line, leaving Coulter hung up to dry. Lots of indecision there. Guys wanting to jump out or not. Their Payne goes out, brings a couple guys with him now. Trying to find him. There we go. See a smaller pack back here, led by John Hammond. Devin DeCuna right behind him in the 43. Roberge behind them. Miller's behind John. Apologize. John Miller, DeCuna, and Roberge 4-pack here. Colbinet's in Culver. on their own, just well off the pack. Might lose a lap there, but should Crash come out, he'll be the lucky dog, and we do get a stage break, so he's okay. Just trying to stay away from the mess, it looks like. Biggert still leading the field. Outside lane starting to form up. Stryker leading it. Getting a big push by Payne. A little squirrely there. There's Payne pushing Jeremiah Burke, who's pushing the 52 of Day. Stryker jumped on the inside lane. We see him there. Ditching the outside, finding a gap on the inside. This group of cars leaving another group here. Actually, it's that 4-pack catching Coulter and Salas now. They got to be careful. Best bet to drop back behind these group of 4 and everybody line up nose to tail. You'll catch the group in front of them pretty quickly. But they all got to work together back here. If they want to hang out, that's good too. Just kind of stay within reason of the lead pack just in case they wreck. There's Salas Coulter right behind him. Coulter Jr. John just exiting this corner now. Here on play with the throttle. Isaac here at the tail end of the pack. They're not too far off. Caffrey a little bit drifting a little bit on the wall. Should be okay there. Cut the wall a bit. Gotta be careful on that outside lane. Don't want to put. Oh, Ross Squirrely was just about to mention you want to push on the right rear of the car of the bumper. It's gonna send him around. Day very aggressive there. Ross jumps inside, doesn't want anything to do with it anymore. Day leading the outside line now. Payne drops inside behind Caffrey, who goes outside in front of Day. Now it's Caffrey, Day, and Burke on the outside line. They're not going to make much headway, though. Oh, there goes Caffrey and Balsamo.
What is this for, Earl?
I think Balsamo got loose and came across the 77. We'll take a look and see what happened. Take a better look at that. Forgot to pull up my hockey.
Caution, caution.
Let's see, it said Burke went off track, but I mean, he might have just. Oh, maybe he caught Isaac's rear bumper. Let's take another look. I saw Isaac wiggle there, but let me see. Trying to find him on the. There we go. Take a slower look. Looks like he's a little free there. Coming out of the corner. I thought Burke hit him, but he didn't. Looks like Isaac just drifted up into the 77. Let's come back real quick and we'll watch it real time. Got a little free off the exit. And yeah, trying to catch it. Looks like he just drifted up into Caffrey. Very quick. Shouldn't be too bad there. Of course, body work, very important. We see these guys pitting here. Everybody taking fuel. I'm pretty sure they're not going to take tires here. Just making sure they're good on fuel. There's Isaac on the pit road getting some damage fixed. Oh, looks like he is taking tires there. There's goes Caffrey. There weren't too bad of hits. I think Isaac would probably have the worst out of that. He hit head on into the outside wall, and Caffrey more or less scraped the right side. I'd get all that fixed if I were either one of them instead of using a fast repair. Trying to find Balsamo. He's still in the pit there. Might have a lot of front end damage. Trying to can't get quite a good look at it. 13 also on pit road. Something happened to Culver maybe. Maybe he's trying to get something situated. There's a lot of right side damage there on Jerry's car. Maybe that's why he was so far back. The start. See if we can. Pace lap's very long here. We have plenty of time to look at things. I'm just want to see what happened to Jerry. I'm not too sure if we'll find it or. But we saw him in that replay. He came into pit road. His right side was pretty used up. There you go. Oh, something we missed here. It's Jerry on the inside. Oh, that's weird. It's like his car just went straight, or maybe he had an issue. Oh, he was trying to maybe go outside. Wasn't sure if he was clear of striker or gives Cameron a bump, and it just goes straight into the outside wall. Hits it pretty good. That's why he's sitting on pit road there. Goes Jerry Culver back on the track. Field coming down out of turn 2. Just hear the engines come by. These cars sound amazing. I love how all these cars sound. Jerry catching up to the tail. Oh, watch. They're coming in real hot. Catching up to the. I do it too sometimes. It looks like they're going to hit, but they're 99% of the time they know what they're doing. We see them start to pull off. Yeah, he had a little bump there, but he got it all fixed. It looks like back caught up with the pack. Biggert's going to head him off into the restart. Green flag's out. Everybody pushing pretty hard. Just some side sounds. I love doing that, especially that gyro cam. It shows you how much banking Daytona had. It's not the track with the most banking. That goes to Bristol. As Bristol's very, very steep. Daytona about 31 degrees in the corners, 18 in the trial across the start-finish line. Everybody pushing very hard, though. We saw Coulter jump outside. Got a little free there on the exit, a little bump that went bad, but Stryker behind him, giving him some room. John Hammond making moves, getting to the outside of this line as we're closing in for the end of the stage there. So these guys pushing very hard, trying to get some stage points. Yeah, that's definitely banked. Lots of banking there. We had a problem back here, I think. Oh, there goes Daytona, very loose. Hung on to it. Lots of banking here. There's Malcolm. These guys had an issue. Let's see if we can back up real fast and see what happened. Looks like it started with Malcolm. Maybe got free. Got a bump that went bad. There's Caffrey. Oh, he got loose. It just broke free on him. That's pretty weird to see. He looks like he hit Delgado pretty good. Or maybe he jabbed on the brake. He didn't make contact. There's Caffrey into Kolbenitz. Oh, it's netcode. There you go. The sign kind of got in the way, but you can just see it right there. You see his car go around as Caffrey drifts up, and it gets netcoded. Oh, he hit the wall pretty good. Destroys the front end. There's Daytona getting loose. Malcolm's going to take a fast repair. He'll be okay, though, as the stage break's coming up. Lots of banking absolutely in the corner. 31 degrees in the corner. I'll jump on the gyro cam again with Stryker. We just come off the corner for 18 degrees right here across the start-finish line. Big pushes. Hard pushes on the for Stryker. Sending Cameron to the front. 31 degrees here in the corner. And the corners where you have all your downforce, that's all the G-forces pushing down on the car. Very, very difficult to keep cars locked up. We see Cameron shoot out. That's Payne, that's, apologize, third in the third row now as Cameron jumps in. Lots of downforce there. That's what gives the car the ability to stick to the ground, and you can stay flat out. The corners are so wide, so banked. They're so open there. You can stay flat out all the way around. But the trouble is, coming off the corner, the car gets light. All that energy pushing down, it's coming off the car. The rear end's getting light. The most dangerous part is the tri-oval, where the car is the lightest. Definitely don't want to push down the tri-oval, at least not this early. We might see it later on. There's Malcolm ahead, about to go a lap down. He'll be okay, though. He'll be a lucky dog here as they're racing for the stage break. Stryker making big gains. Cameron on the outside, bigger pushing him. So they're going to come across the line here. Looks like Cameron's going to take it from Stryker with a push from Bigger. Burke in third. Good finish by these guys. That's just a precursor to come. Lots of power on the outside. They'll get a big run off the corners. There's lots of speed up there. As that banking comes off, it unloads the car, and it kind of shoots you out like a cannon. You get so much momentum coming off the high side, and we saw that with Cameron Dario. They passed him mid to late corner, coming off. Bigger and Burke both clear at the 88 for a good finish for these guys. Awesome racing their top first 20 laps, one caution. Pretty big wreck also that didn't cause a caution. These guys stayed straight for the most part. Malcolm's going to be your lucky dog, the only car lap down. Having to use his only fast repair, he murdered the outside wall there, as we saw in the replay. Man, that's a very, very hard racing for the stage win. Cameron, as we pull up the current points. There we go. Cameron, your points leader. So that's going to be another bonus point. 10 points for winning the stage. And it goes down by 1 all the way to 10th. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 point for 10th. So top 10 finishers. These guys are racing for bonus points for the playoffs, and of course the stage winner gets 1 playoff point added to their total once the playoff points reset. So these stages definitely matter, definitely worth the effort that they put in. Reason why they're racing so hard there at the end. Striker making big moves there from the top, trying to get to the bottom, trying to win the stage, but bigger than Burke with so much momentum and push on the 4. They all 3 of them get clear. Just amazing racing there, and getting very squirrely. So we're not done yet. We still got another stage, more points, more playoff points up for grabs. We'll see who comes into the pits here. See them start to calm down. It's Payne staying out. A couple guys should stay out. There's Malcolm, should get his wave around. Everybody else coming in. Pit crash in pit road. Who was that? That's Colbinets in the 42. We'll take a look. He's trying to turn himself around. We'll take a look. Looks like Delgado's going to win the race off pit road. Dario, Striker, bigger. We caught him just at the end. We'll take a look at that. See what happened to Colbinets. We'll back it up here. Something we don't often see in pit road, but it happens. See Colbinets looking for his box. See if he maybe jabbed on the brake or missed it. Okay, he's coming down in. Donnie gets him. Caffrey gets a piece. Good thing it ghosted straight through Balsamo without have murdered the front end of his car. Take a look from Donnie's point of view. Taking a look inside. Usually you stay to the right, but he's relatively to the right. There's Colbinets' box. And, man, that's a pretty good hit, I think. They might need to spend some time in the box. I think Donnie jumped inside a little too early. There's his box. Not that too early. It's just a circumstance of when they started to dive in. See, Colbinets coming out now. He willing to bet he spent some time on pit road getting a little bit of damage fixed. Not too bad there. This Donnie, his car looking good. There's not a scratch on there. Caffrey got a bit of that as well. There he is. Not too bad. Malcolm coming around. Taking his wave around now. Coming down to make a stop. I kind of think he did turn a little too early, but I mean his box was relatively there as well. It wasn't egregious like he was on the left side, complete left side of the pit lane or anything. There's Malcolm missing his box a little bit, but not too bad. He's gonna just take some fuel and roll off. Payne staying out. Taking the, inheriting the lead. Delgado wins the race off pit road. There's Cameron Striker. A little bit of shuffle there on the pit exit. See how they do here. Yeah, maybe a little too far. I try to turn down when I'm about 5 stalls away or so, but just nothing egregious though. It just happened. Colbinets is turning to his box there also, but no, not too much damage, no harm, no foul. See how these guys do as we come to the restart. Pace car is going to dive in here this time. Barney's got the flag in hand. Payne's going to lead him here. Now, Payne did it pits. He's going to be the one with less fuel than everybody and leading the pack, so he's going to not be able to save. Flat foot all the way for the top two. Second row back for the most part can save. John a little bit loose there. Able to hang on to it. Delgado way up against the wall. When this car first came out, we used to run the wall like that, and it used to be very fast. I haven't seen a lot of people do it for the most part, mostly because guys don't want to run up there, and they tend to go to the middle, and you get stuck on the outside dropping back. Delgado shoots down at the bottom in front of Payne now, and that's going to help Payne start to save fuel. A little bit of drone cam here. See that outside lane start to move if they get a little bit packed up here. Some roll off down in the 1 and 2. John Hammond jumping outside a striker. Them two bad fast when they're linked up, so they should expect that outside start to go. I'm not sure if he jumped the start. I didn't notice it unless Andrew didn't get a good start, but the Delgado might have just been on it. Once the leader goes, you can floor it, and if you can even pass the leader as long as he started going first. So that's up to RC, and I don't hear any tales of penalty or anything. So RC, the race control, deems it's okay so far. I didn't quite notice an egregious jump. Maybe Andrew just had to lift a bit or so, or Isaac very slow, loose there, having a hard time keeping it together.
Mic off.
Oh, there goes John off the nose of Striker. Big wreck.
Hold your position.
Striker in it. A lot of people in it. Salas into Striker. There's Malcolm.
Racing or something, you know?
Someone's in the grass. Huge crash there in the middle, on the front of the field. That's Miller on the grass. A lot of guys collected. We're going to take a look and see. There's Coulter. I think he's got some front end damage.
Mic off. Mic on.
Yeah, that front end's pretty pushed in.
Mic feedback off. Mic feedback on.
Striker's got some front end damage. John in the pits immediately. His car's completely gone. I think John maybe got loose a bit, or Striker caught him in the right rear. We'll see what happened.
Caution, caution.
There's the three of them, and this might be, I gotta see, they're pretty staggered, it looks like. John's trying to follow the car in front of them, and you see right here, Striker's on the right rear. John, it might have clipped him. It looks like he does. John went down a bit and then came up. There goes Striker into the inside field. Couple guys mowing the grass. Salas murders the 88 there, trying to avoid it. We'll get a better look at it. Oh, there's Coulter just trying to avoid it. Gets into it as well. Salas, Malcolm. John went down and then he was trying to come back up, I guess, and Striker was already next to him. Not trying to pass him, just the draft sucks you up, and once they move. Let's see. Go back a little bit. We can take a better look. That's Ross ahead of him. So there they are on the outside. It looks like he's trying to go out. And I think John just trying to come down behind Ross. And it moves so quick, Striker ends up on his right rear. And he clips him around, and there goes Striker on the 14. John hitting the wall, Jerry nowhere to go. It looks like he just missed it. Coulter in it. Just nowhere for some of these guys to go. Look at the roof flaps. Roof flaps a big innovation NASCAR had. There's Salas, Malcolm, front tires locked up. See if we can ride on board with Striker. Take a cockpit view. We'll back up a bit through the corner. It happened so fast. He wasn't even next to John. John, I think, gave Ross a tap and it backed him up into Striker, who was to the right side of the bumper, something we mentioned earlier. And there they go. I want to see Culver's point of view, though. I need to fix that. I forgot to fix it. I hate how that camera bounces off the pole like that. Great wreck of onions by Coulter. Immediately gets on the brakes, checks up. Quick movement to the gap that opened. Awesome job by Coulter here in the 13. Take a look at Coulter's point of view. Just a tap from the rear of the car as well. So once you're in the grass, you can't really direct the car where to go. Malcolm right behind him as well. Take a look at John's point of view. Back up a bit more there. This will give us a good tail, I think. See the run he gets. Ross jumps out. John trying to stay behind him. It's just nothing egregious. These guys just ended up like that. John dives a little lower than Striker anticipated, and once you end up in the right rear with some run, it's hard to, especially it happens so quickly. We saw it. It's hard to judge that sometimes. Big mess for these guys. Little bump there. Sends him back to the 88, who's towards the right bumper of the car, and it just turns him around. Just to stack up. Ross trying to jump outside, and that outside line had some momentum. Kind of stacked them up together. And look at Striker getting some air. These guys' tires locked up. Just you can't do nothing in the grass. Where you're at's where you're at. Green flag back out. Payne, Delgado leading the pack here. These guys, Malcolm, unfortunately on pit road. We saw him wreck the car earlier. Striker with the fast repair. All these guys back here using fast repair. I'm willing to bet Coulter fixed that damage, though. It wasn't too bad. It's just pretty pushed in there, but I wouldn't use a fast repair for that, especially how big Daytona is. You can get a lot of damage fixed. It's 2 minutes and some change around under pacing. So a couple laps there, you get a lot of damage. A couple minutes fixed pretty easily. Inside lane checking up. Ross got a little free, checks up the 98, backs up that whole inside line. Payne diving in. Lots of movement there. Delgado really on Payne's bumper. He's got to be careful. Another shot. He just sends it into the 93. That's pretty hard. That was a pretty hard hit. Oh, Culver straight down the track, out of line. It's got to be careful. So he's okay. Everybody gives him some room to jump back in. Figured on the outside, pushing the 44 of John Ross. These guys are racing pretty hard still. I'm not sure. I gotta assume his paint's not corrected. Let me. I was running that too because he's 41 on iRacing, but I had the paints. Let me hit the refresh just in case. Paint very loose, undecisive. Up, down, trying to block the outside. Second guesses himself. Let me. I'm gonna reload everybody. Just in case his paint didn't load in right, but I think he just didn't pick his paint properly. Because I had iRacing or Training Paints download the paints earlier. Cameron Dario using the outside with Caffrey to the lead, and we mentioned that outside has so much momentum. We'll see that all night as guys run up outside and dive in. That's Payne, Andrew Payne in the third position. There it goes, the car loads in. Yeah, I guess he just didn't, forgot to change his paint tonight. There's Culver back there, everybody wiggling around. Of course, Sherry always rooting her son, Jerry Culver, and a big supporter of Chop Shop in the My Three Sons there, sponsor for Chop Shop Racing, Chop Shop Series, and a big fan of Striker also, who's back here just riding around, not trying to use another fast repair. Stage break number 2 coming up, so these guys will be okay. I don't think they'll go lap down just yet, but they're well off the pace. Salas right behind them. 2 cars cannot really draft. The car won't suck up to the car ahead of you. You see that little bit of gap, it's just an air bubble there. You definitely need a third car to push you into that first car. These guys are, you do run faster than the second car, single car, but not quite as fast as 3. See everybody still fighting hard for the top spot. Cameron in position to win another stage and another playoff point, but Ross and Biggert again, we saw him push Cameron earlier. Look at the run they got, just locked up. Hard hits there, but gotta be careful. Cameron gets loose. There goes Caffrey. Shooting around. Big mess. Big jump. 14. Donnie backwards. Robert's. Oh, Caffrey just hits him again. I think John got some of that. Looks like, yeah, he has some right front damage. See, the right front's jacked up. He clipped someone. I was just about to mention you gotta be careful with pushing like that. That middle car is gonna get squeezed out and turned around. We'll take a look.
Caution, caution.
So we see it here. We'll back up a bit more. It's already happening, I think. Oh, this is the first yellow flag. There we go. So you see the big gap here as we come back. The big gap there, the 4 has on the 77. The 4's going to come back to the 77 very quickly, very fast. There's a massive speed difference. Caffrey has so much draft, but I think Caffrey just slams into him. Gives him a hit here, and Payne's so tucked up against the 77. The 77 hits the 4. Look at that. He just bounces back between the 2 cars. The 4 gets loose. It sends the 77 back into the 93, who's on the right side of Caffrey, turns him around. And that's what we got to be careful with. What I mentioned earlier, it's going to happen all night. You get on the right side of that car, you're going to send him around. You're going to go for the right, especially on corner entry. The car's starting to just get the downforce there. The car's a little bit free going in. Caffrey just upset there. I'm pretty sure he just runs right through Roberge. We'll take a quicker look. Another big one here. See who's got fast repairs left. It's almost like a ping pong effect. The middle car's just in a bad position. John almost made it through. Just got Roberge coming down. I think Coulter made it through there on the apron. I'm pretty sure that was him. Oh, Caffrey's got no brakes. That's what it was. I thought he just ran right through him, but he's trying to stop. The car's so damaged. He's still trying to stop. He's got no steering, no brakes. The car just won't stop. Once the tires are damaged, they're not connected properly. It's just, car will not stop. Right on board with Coulter Jr. here. I think he just got Roberge with the right front. Could have been worse though. See Cameron on the grass there. Caffrey gave him a pretty good hit. It hit him pretty hard to get him loose. See the checkup? Wow, Roberge almost went over. Hard hits here. Back this up. David Miller at the tail end. I just know where to go. Trying to brake. Little tap to Donnie. I think he'll be okay. Nowhere to go. So this will give us a good view also. The hit that Caffrey gave Cameron, he hit him so hard he got him loose. He's a little to the right of the car. Man, just a hard hit for these guys. There's Jerry. Not sure why it put me back that far. Pretty much the whole field in this one. It started at the front again, and it collected everybody this time.
Green flag.
Green flag out. We'll double check Jerry there. I do want to see his point of view, but big jump by John Ross here. Someone's in the grass. Something happened back here. That was a weird restart. Everybody's kind of spread out. I want to jump back and see what happened. See everybody going. It just looks like people fell asleep. That whole row back there fell asleep. Everybody really spread out or being very careful. And I was hearing on the driver channel someone in the grass. It's not sure. Oh, John. Big checkup by Delgado on Isaac. Not too much there. Everybody back closed up here. The good thing about Daytona, draft will suck you back up there. Cameron again on the outside. This is going to be your stage. Getting pushed by Burke. Let's see if they can hang on to it. John, got to be careful. Don't want to hit him too hard. See what John does there? He checks out right before hitting Burke, and that's what you want to do. That's smart racing by a driver who's been around and seen a thing or two. You don't want to hit the guy in second place because it's going to bounce him off the first place guy. You're going to hit him, and you're going to send him around like we saw with Caffrey. John is a great example right there, and I'm glad we just caught it. He didn't slam into Burke like a lot of people would have, and it would have caused another wreck there. John checked up just enough, and the three of them fall back in line. Great racing by John Hammond. Lots of heads up, very smart in the car. Now he's shooting outside. Ross muscles them out of the inside. I thought that was our second stage. They might have called it after that wreck. They might have called it stage. John very loose in the middle. It's going to get Ross, and there goes Jerry.
Caution's out.
John, stay off the wall. Hard hit. That might be it for him.
Radio just a few minutes ago.
He got Ross. Jerry involved. Man, hard contact there. Looks like it was just the two of them, really.
Caution.
There we go. My hockey's not working. Ross looked like he muscled John out of the the bottom lane. Take a look here. Yeah, he's got some horrible luck like myself. Looks like John just moved up. I thought Ross muscled him out, but John drifts up. Ross was thinking about going with him, decides against it. John's on the outside. Oh, Ross bumps John. John gets real free, gets him back, and there they go. Ross hangs on to it. Look at Doc Otto with great evasive maneuver. Saw that coming a mile away. Jerry and John, they definitely get the worst of it. Doesn't look like SK caught this wreck. See if we can get a better look at it. Delgado drifted up into John. I think John didn't like that and came back down on the. Ross drifted up into John. I don't think John liked that and came back down a bit. But he definitely had the worst end of that. There's the contact. Contact again. There they go. And Jerry almost had it cleared. Yeah, all these guys do. They seem to have that Kurt Busch look. That's what I call it. That black cloud over my head. Man, I feel for Jerry too. He's always running towards the front and he just gets caught in a bad moment. That's the earliest it snapped to. Fortunately, I gotta rewind a bit. Jerry it's just on forward, just the right fender, right in front of the wheel. Almost had it. The roof flaps deploy in real life. You'll see there's below in the middle of the diffuser. There's another flap there that'll let the air go through the bottom of the car, you see the front valence, the radiator of Jerry's car. It'll go straight through. Normally it'll go underneath the car. There's fins down there that'll create a vortice, a sucking effect to keep the car planted. When the car turns backwards, the roof flap on the top, I think it's the right roof flap, it'll lift, it'll pull a string, rope, or cord, or whatever you want to call it, a cable, if you will, to that bottom of the car. the middle. I'm trying to get a look at it. That's the closest I can see. But it's between the two diffusers. The center right below the Camaro. There's another flap there. It'll drop down, and it'll let the air go straight through the car, so there's no lift effect when they're backwards. And that's another effect. iRacing doesn't have it modeled or implemented, but that's another effect that NASCAR's implemented with this car, and I really like it. So the car will not generate lift. I want to see Delgado's point of view, because he shot out to the left. He saw that coming. Back up real fast. Man, he almost got caught by John, too, coming down. Good heads up there. There goes John coming off pit road. Back end's a little, right side's a little bent up, I think. Front end's not too bad now. He murdered the wall pretty good. You see the hood's buckled a bit, the fenders. Front end's a little wobbly, but in the draft, it's not too bad. In the draft, it shouldn't hurt. As long as he can stay in the draft. Leading's a whole different story. Leading a line might not be very effective, but as long as he's behind that car, I think he'll be okay. See, looks like Jerry's called it. His seems to use his faster priorities terminal. Salas also Caffrey out, Malcolm in that order, 18th through 21st. John Hammond is the last car. I believe he's a lap down right now. Striker here towards the tail end as we're getting ready to go for the green flag. Roberge alongside Coulter. Front row.
Green flag.
Green flag's out. Oh, Coulter goes around. He's in the grass. Just gonna hang on to it. No caution that's gonna hurt Coulter. Donnie and John are towards the tail end. I thought he was they were behind him. Coulter's on the apron. So we can take a look real fast. What happened to Coulter? Thinking he came across somebody's nose because he just went spinning to the inside. Gets a bump from Cameron. Oh, he might have come across the Roberge. Roberge on the inside. Coulter's in the middle. It's hard to tell. Well, Roberge is on the double yellow. I think Coulter came down a little bit. Not hard to tell from there. But, yeah, that really sucks there for the three. He's back on the track there. Definitely going to go a lap down. Robert's leading the pack. Still a good amount of cars here. Donnie Williams. No, Coulter is the last one on the lead lap. John Ross would be the last one in the pack, but it looks like he's losing the pack. Hammond lap down, as well as Donnie Williams, I believe. Payne outside with Cameron Dario, Biggert, Balsamo. Top line moving. It's like John Hammond coming down a pit road. He might be calling it for the night. Lots of damage there on that car. Ross is all but lost. The pack's going to definitely need a yellow. Oh, there we go. Jump back on. Made it quick. I thought he got loose, but it looks like he made a quick move to the inside. Payne follows him. Now leading the inside. We saw that earlier. Outside lane gets ahead and dives in. I personally believe the outside lane is faster, but nobody wants to stay up there and help. Unless you got teammates, it's difficult to rally cars on the outside. These laps are winding down now. The last stage was 45. So that last yellow was the stage break. Apologize, I forgot to mention. Biggert alongside the 13. Biggert not much help right now. It's got a little bit of a gap to Isaac there, who's got a pretty good gap to Daytona. That outside lane definitely needs to get tucked up so they can start moving forward. As we mentioned earlier, 2 cars by themselves cannot really draft up and make progress. Oh, Donnie jumps inside just ahead of Burke. Coulter back here on the just entering the backstretch. Cameron exiting the backstretch, coming into turn 3. These guys single file up to Nathan Biggert in 6th alongside the 14 of David Miller. He's got Isaac behind him, little buck there. They lock bumpers for a bit. He's got to be careful going into the corner though. Generally, pushing around the corner is a no-go. The car's rotating. It's leaning on the right rear a bit. You don't want to catch the right rear of the car. Turn someone around. Bears jumping outside. That leaves a bit gap to Payne and Day. See if Roberge can have some momentum there. You can pull that outside line. Oh, Colbinet's off under the line. Might have gotten a little loose there. Striker making some movement there now. Colbinet's again under the line there. He might be a little free there on the exit. Oh! Miller sliding up into Biggert. Little contact there. We mentioned tires don't wear that much. I mean, they do get hot, so that it starts to slide up. You'll have to turn the wheel more. So every maybe 30, 40 laps, if you had a good long run, you want to change the tires, especially under like the last caution. I would have taken tires if I haven't during the race yet. The car does start to push up in the corner. And you definitely still feel the difference. There's not a lot of tire wear. It's mainly the heat. Tires get so hot. You're still using them up. Payne tucked up behind Aereo. Locked in together. See Biggert there in the mirror. In the camera, really. Look at that. Real tight against Payne. That's one of the drivers you can do that to. You can trust Andrew Payne to not move up. Very tight on Andrew Payne. Trying to get that side draft. Slow that inside line down. Another thing we mentioned earlier. Side by side. Very tight like that. It's definitely going to slow the line down. Roberge fell back a bit. He's now 5th in that inside line. There's Coulter just ahead of them. It's going to be the first car at lead lap down when they catch him if we don't get a wreck first. Outside line broken up. Only four cars out there, but Daytona is very far from Isaac. can't really get going. They got to stay locked up. Well, not really locked up, but very, very close to each other to make some progress. Like Payne there. Payne just very tight on the number 4. These guys catching the 3 very quickly. They're going to have to be careful. Everybody, what a great time to catch a lap cars down the backstretch. Everybody going high. Bigger shooting out in front of the 10. .43 really staying a good gap behind the 10. He's going to really need to maybe just not comfortable getting tight. I mentioned to Kuna in previous broadcasts, he's just got a knack for bringing the car home clean. Maybe not feeling too comfortable tucked up against the 10 or just not ready. You see him check up a bit there. Just leaving about a car length behind the 10, not ready to get going, it looks like. Just trying to turn some laps, if anything, maybe save fuel, save as much gas as he can. But he's not ready to get going, and that's stalling out the 19 and the 10. We're just hanging out there. These laps start to tick away. Everybody being very calm, it looks like now, after 2 pretty big wrecks earlier. Striker just a little bit of a tenth or so. Oh, big wreck!
Caution's out. All right, buddy, you had a couple laps by yourself there. How'd it feel?
Man, Hartung, Williams. There's Donnie. We saw Donnie backward riding on board with Striker. We saw that them start to split. Looks like it started about the middle of the pack. We'll see what happened.
Caution, caution.
Let's see, there's Isaac on. Oh, there it is. He's going to clip bigger. Yep. Shoots in. Man, Hartung. Hard hit. Donnie, Coulter. Daytona, unfortunately, also. I just mentioned he's got an neck. These plate races are about the only tracks where he gets in wrecks. Otherwise, he finishes the race, brings the car just like it rolled off the hauler. I know he's got a faster pair, though. He'll be okay. Take a look. Isaac looks like he got a little loose, went up, and just clipped bigger. Man, they were just starting to clear Cameron also. There's Isaac. Well, see, he's just shooting outside. He just drifts up to the wall, just naturally. Biggert keeping a little lower, and they just get together. Hard hits there. Striker just making his way through, not hitting nothing. He's definitely used the faster pair. Good avoidance for him. There's nowhere to go for the outside. This is my biggest concern running outside. I usually like to stay on the inside. Because there's more escape. When you're on the outside, it's a wall of cars to your left and a wall to your right. Colvin, it's just nowhere to go. Hartung spins in front of him. Hard hit on the wall. That might be it for a lot of guys. after that last wreck. This is another big one. Striker, great wreck avoidance there. Burke, another one who practices great wreck avoidance. Hard on the brakes, track this block. Just a quick jerk there. This is all of it. Good job by those guys. There's Donnie. I think he took a fast repair. Yeah, looks like he did. He had one saved in the bank. Hammond sitting at pit road. Culminates. Looks like he might be done. There's Heart Tongue. Looks okay. Goes to Kuna. I knew he had a fast repair left. Car looks pretty good. Oh, might still have damage. Maybe he didn't take it, or maybe he didn't have a fast repair. I'm not too sure if he got into a wreck earlier. I don't recall seeing him, but that right front, you see the fender disjointed from the bumper there on the left side. Might just need some more damage. There goes Heart Tongue. Covenant's coming out. Oh, Burke a little blinky. They might have had to tow. So now they're exiting with the new car. Unfortunately, he didn't beat the pace car out. So he's going to drop to the back. John Hammond now, looks like he's called it. He's just watching the race here. 17th, Culver, Salas, Caffrey, Malcolm in that order through 17th to 21st. Malcolm's going to be the last car finishing right now. Striker staying out on pit stops, goes to the front now. So there's Donnie catching up. Looks like we usually see a lot of Chevys up front, but they might all be wrecked out. There's just a lot of Fords now. Couple Chevys, one Toyota, but most of the field is Fords. And you know what? I don't really mind. I'm biased. I don't care. I'll admit it. There's Fords all over the field. Couple Chevys, couple Toyotas. There's Isaac dropping to the back. I think he took the claim for that. There's Coulter. Front end damage. There's Malcolm. Oh, he is back on the track. Trying to get some more, a couple spots here and there. He's got enough laps to get one or two, I think. Good amount of laps down. Coulter behind him. Donnie and I think that's culminates to the tail end. Definitely a lap down. The Striker's going to lead him to the green flag. Side by side with Burke. Malcolm diving in, trying to get out of the way, it looks like. Everybody pretty spread out. North to back, lots of damage on a lot of these cars. Here to see the outside lane just power out around the 88. Both drop in. Ross a little tight on Burke. Pair of Fords, or trio of Fords inside. Pair of Fords, or trio of Fords also on the outside. I just noticed Robert's outside. Striker does have the Chevy teammate, manufacturer teammate of Miller right behind him, and Biggert. The only Toyota in this pack right here. Isaac back here with Donnie. Heart Tongue behind Culminates and Coulters. Lots of damage for these guys. See if these guys can make do. Lots of Ford teammates, manufacturer teammates around. But Striker Highest running Chevy right now, trying to upset them. Very fast, very smart driving for the 88. Just being patient. Single file all the way through, all the way back to Ross and oh, there goes Isaac. Oh, hard on the wall. Still gonna be green. That just destroys the front left of the car. It's gonna take it on down to pit road, it looks like. See what happened to Isaac. I know you guys are big Chevy fans, but I gotta root for the Fords. They don't win too often. Oh, Miller just got free and got doored Isaac and it just sends him into the wall. Unfortunate for Isaac. He's gonna sit in pit road here for a bit. Donnie is a lap down back there. He's fighting with Miller. Robert side by side with Ross. Top 6 to Bigger, single file. These guys are probably just going to hang out. Oh, just when I say that, Bigger jumps out in front of Ross. He's going to try to go to the front again. See those guys? Miller, a big bump there to the 19. He's got Ross apologized, a big bump to the 19. Miller right behind him. Only 3 cars on the outside. They're gonna need some more help. Miller very loose. Isaac still sitting in pit road. That might he might have called it maybe, or he just has a lot of damage to fix. Payne still leading the, apologize. Cameron still leading Payne. Burt, Stryker. There's Miller making some moves there. He was behind Baker, but he gets around him. Ross and Delgado there in the 13. I might have gotten them mixed up. I thought Delgado was Miller, maybe. The color scheme throwing me off. Ross very free. Biggert's gonna need some more cars on the outside to help him out, but it looks like it's gonna be a single file run for a good while, maybe to the end. We'll see if these guys are good on fuel. We know Stryker stayed out. Everybody else came in for some fuel last time by thinking he's good. Good pushes there by the 44 down the backstretch. They're making some moves. Payne drifts up a bit. And a good equalizer for these guys. Andrew, we see him tucked up against Cameron for so long. Overheating's a big issue. They got to definitely be careful, be aware. And that might have been what happened, is Andrew had to back off of the 4 for a good amount of time and get some air to the front end of that car, get some air to the engine so they don't blow up there. That also lets the outside lane. Look at Ross, just hard hits to the 19. Got to be careful. Now they're going to dive in. Ross shoots him with Delgado. Biggert's going to drop back pretty quick there. Donnie's got to be careful with Bears. Oh, everybody fan out. Cameron fanning out. Delgado going to be careful. Payne on the inside of Delgado checks up. Now Cameron and Biggert on the outside. Biggert's a great pusher, and Cameron holds a steady car. We'll see if they can make some move on the outside. Payne shooting out. Man, these guys might just wreck each other again. Ross jumping in front of Delgado. We'll see who's in prime position as the laps start to dwindle down. I personally want to be in second or third in a single file line. I'd want to be Delgado or Burke right now. If it's single file towards the end with the lap with coming to the checkers, get a draft and suck out with the guy behind you or push the guy in front of you, get around first place. If it's double file, probably leading the line or pushing the leader of the outside line like Cameron is. These guys running way up top. Jerry unfortunately had he was involved in a couple crashes, the most recent one with John Hammond, who got involved with Ross, and they just clipped his right rear and sent him to the inside wall, as well as Hammond he had used the Fast Pro already, completely destroyed the car. So he's finishing in 18th so far. Malcolm moved up a spot, still on the track, gaining a spot over Caffrey. Caffrey moves down also off the track and moves down in last place. 3 wide. Ross in the middle. Payne shoots outside. That's going to get Ross stuck in the sucker hole here. He's going to drop back behind Stryker. Oh, no, he goes to the top behind Biggert. See, that outside line's going to get a great run. Cameron and Payne working together. Look at that. Cameron gives Payne a big shot. He's not going to be able to clear Delgado, though. I got to say, for what I'm seeing, Payne and the number 4 working together. Burke pushing Delgado a little bit free. Got to be careful. We saw that earlier with Caffrey. There goes the trio there. Payne, Cameron, Biggert dropping to the inside in front of Delgado. Ross stuck on the outside, no help at all, falls all the way to the tail end of the lap of this group here. Hart turning back here with Coulter and I think that's the Kolbenetz ahead of him. This guy's just riding around damaged cars. Malcolm with Daytona, Donnie lap down as well here with the main group though. As the pair of Fords leads the Toyota. These guys working together to get to the front. We'll see if anybody has anything for them. These guys back here got to be careful. If they stay side by side, they're both going to lose the draft. Robert shoots out. They got to sort that out real quick. You see them having a gap to Delgado now. That's we mentioned that earlier. Towards the end, if you're side by sides towards the tail end of the field, you're going to lose the draft pretty quickly. Robert's on the outside. Side by side now, this group here fighting each other, starting to lose some connection with the leaders a bit. They should start to catch up though. You gotta be careful with the side-by-side racing. Stryker back in the draft. There's Delgado peeking out. Burke right behind him. We're looking at Burke. Oh, Burke a little bit of a blink there. Delgado outside in no man's land by himself now. No. Keeps trying that, but nowhere to go. Nobody going with him. He's trying to make something happen, but nobody want to join him. Ross does a little wall there, but they're going to need more than 2 cars. Yeah, it's been a crazy race. Big wrecks. Donnie shooting outside now. See if he's going to help those guys. Trying to get a lap back. They're catching Malcolm and Daytona, who are a couple laps down. These guys are, I'm assuming, going to drop inside and get by him. 15 to go. Donnie shooting out with Delgado and Ross. See if these guys can make some headroom. Guy's having a hard time there. Delgado checking up, ends up on the outside of Donnie. Don't want to be there. We've seen lots of wrecks happen there. They're having a hard time getting lined up there. We got Malcolm and Daytona back there. It's now on the draft. Maybe they can get some help from some lap traffic. But with these guys, single file, they're not going to really get anywhere. They're going to be like this for a bit. We'll see who makes the first move towards the end with these front group of cars. Payne leading the field, still a single file. Ross and Delgado still trying to make something happen. The Kuna Malcolm heavily damaged car is not able to stay with this group here. There's Ross next to Miller, getting by Miller. Not quite clearing in there. Miller getting a draft from Roberge. These guys are trying very hard to do something, but they can't. Delgado actually doing a good job getting stuck on. Oh, very, very free there off the exit. So hard to push through the corner. But they're trying everything they can. Everybody being very patient. Still 12 to go. These guys pretty, I think, scared to try something this early and get hung up to dry. Pair of Fords leads the Toyota. Ford, Chevy. Ford's back here. Ross making a bit of room with help from Delgado, but they're definitely going to have a hard time getting somewhere. Man, I'm impressed. I had not seen someone been able to... Oh, there. Got him loose. Got to be careful. Those are pretty hard hits there in the corner. You mentioned that with the car rotating through the corner, it's hard to push like that. You're going to get them free. But Ross doing a good job hanging on. I was going to say, impressed with Delgado. He's able to get to the bumper of Ross, and something I've not seen many people do with just two cars. Side draft definitely, as we mentioned, would help if they can get tight to the cars. I think their cars are a little too free, though, to try it. But they're making a bit of progress. There they go. That outside line getting the momentum. This is pretty, it just shows two cars can actually do it. Ross doing what he needs to do to slow the inside line down. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it if they wrecked again. Those guys are trying very hard to get to the front, but it's just, there's not much help. They lose all that ground there. Donnie giving them some space there. Oh, Ross, I know he wanted to shoot inside there. Miller closes that hole. That's something I would have done. I probably would have forced it in there and caused a wreck. I'm not gonna lie or play face. Trying to make my way up. There goes Ross and Delgado again. Just nobody will help them. They get such a good run. There's just nothing to do with it. Not enough cars out there. Yeah, I think that's true. These guys are just biding their time. See if Payne gets away with it. Cameron sticks with them or shoots out. Biggert goes with him. There goes Biggert on the outside. Ross got almost to third. Biggert throwing a block there. Checks them up. Breaks their momentum. Man, just the runs these guys are getting. They're getting there. Cameron all over Payne. See, they get to third place. They're doing a good job now. Payne or Cameron taking a look outside, trying to check up that outside line maybe, or trying to join in. But man, these guys, I'm just impressed. These guys are making it work on their own. Robert's helping the outside now. Let's see if they can get somewhere. I'm so impressed with Delgado. Just up against Ross. Another hard hit there. And Ross as well for holding onto the car with those hits through the corner. Oh, very free. Burke disappeared. Ross just doing a phenomenal job with the squirrely car. Getting good shots by the 13 trio of Fords on the outside. Look at Cameron just locked up onto Payne's bump. Oh, Robert jumps inside line, leaves those two guys hanging again. They make it up there. They just nobody wants to go with them still. See when they start to fan out with just a handful of laps to go. There's Cameron just locked up to the bumper for Payne. Robert shoots out ahead of Ross now. Ross doesn't want anything to do with it. He shoots out ahead of him, or around him. Man, I think Ross should have pushed Robert's, and they might have had some good amount of cars on the outside. Burke, a little blink again, but just chose not to. There's Miller behind the 13. Well, he's the 41 of Delgado. Delgado all over the 44. Oh, very free. Wow, hung on to it again. That's slowing down this group there. Top three are moving away. Let's see if these guys do something with it. They're going to have a big steam of draft here. There goes Burke. We're catching a lap car. Burke, Striker pushing. Burke very squirrely though. Striker unable to stay with him. Ross dives in. Here they go. Hard hit. Delgado, there they go. They're off the track. I don't know if it's going to cause a yellow. Delgado spinning on the track. Ross absolutely hit Delgado too hard there. That's what we mentioned earlier. With John checking up, there goes Hartung. No caution. Still coming around, 2 to go. Payne, Cameron, Biggert. Gotta be careful here. Let's see if they can get moving. That outside line forming up now. Couple of lap cars helping. Oh, Bigger's get in the wall. Everybody's scrambling. We're about 3 wide, 4 wide. They collect together. It's going to cause a yellow. Cameron's in the wall. Striker's spinning.
What can we do to try to help it if we
Bigger
take another restart?
hit the wall. Payne under the yellow. We'll review all that. Just a big old mess. Striker hit the wall pretty good. That might end his night. And that's going to help Delgado, who's way back here, who spun earlier. Let's see what happened. We cut to the backstretch camera. Saw Bigger way up there. Oh, back up here. Oh, Cameron's all over Payne. Hits him right off the exit. That's something we mentioned earlier. It's the exit of the corners are where the car's the lightest. The rear end's so free. All that downforce is coming up off the deck lid, off the spoiler. That car's very free, and it's gonna a good shot's gonna even a light tap will send him around. I think that's what happened here. Coming off the corner, good hit to the left side, not a little bit offset, gets Payne loose. Slows down. Oh, it slowed down Cameron. Gets Payne loose, slows down Cameron. Bigger. It's going to go for a pass for the lead, which anybody would. Payne back on track. They end up 3 wide. Burke at the bottom. He was trying to get by Payne. Checks up there. Just a lot, big closing rate. Now Burke's off the tracks trying to merge back on, but Stryker's there. Comes up. They end up 4 wide almost. Oh, they are 4 wide. Burke coming up on the track gets Stryker. And there they go. With 2 to go, we're going to have a green-white checkered. Watch this real time here. I'm going to back up here. It'll show a good view. There goes Payne. There goes Burke. Trying to come back up. Stryker trying to avoid him. They didn't make contact. Stryker was trying to avoid Burke, but they were 4 wide. Cameron was there. Miller was on the outside of them, and they just went around. Miller. There's Payne. Burke trying to go under Cam, ends up with a big run on Payne, checks up, and then they just get squished here on the outside. There's Ross. Ross, a little bump there to Miller, but not that much damage. So we're going to have a green-white checkered here. It's going to get good. I don't think we're done, though. We have 2 green-white checkers. This is the first of 2. We'll see if we're going to need the next one, but I think we are. I don't think they're done wrecking. And as we mentioned, that helped Delgado, who hit Ross pretty good back there, and it got him both sideways. Delgado with the worst of it slides across the backstretch. Now he's back in it in 3rd place right now. Apologize, 4th place. We're rolling around 1 and 2, I believe. Yep, coming down to the backstretch. Just typical Daytona stuff here. Let's see. Stryker took a fast repair. Looks like he did. Car's very clean. Donnie doing okay. There's Hartung's on the outside, laps down. Donnie, I think got a lucky dog back on the lead lap. Cameron, clean car. As well as Burke. These guys' cars looking good. See the moves they make. Ford leading Toyota on the outside. Ross, front end's pretty flat. He hit Miller a lot harder than I thought he did. That front end's pretty flat there. See if He'll be a pretty good pusher, but it's going to be a parachute if he ends up in front of a line. It's just flat. Air's hitting a brick wall. It's going to slow the car down a lot. Outside lane pretty... Oh, I thought it was broken up. There's Burke, just a little blink. But here we go. See if they make it a couple times around. Green flag's out. Payne's going to take him across the stripe. Malcolm gets out of the way. Contact there. Delgado gets on the outside of Roberge. Roberge having a problem? Or just lost some draft there. Lots of good push in here. Burke all over John Ross. Not as big of a parachute as I thought he would be. Ross going to the inside. Burke outside. Payne all over Ross now. Burke, Roberge outside. Striker's in the mix. Yeah, Miller just caught you there. Bouncing off the wall. I think, no, he got free there. Delgado outside, 3 wide. Striker's in the middle. Delgado making a big move. There's a wreck. Striker's in it. There's Colbinitz. White flag's out. Big junk. Those guys are out of it. Burke. Roberge. Payne outside. Pack of Fords. Toyota still has a chance. No Chevy in sight, though. Delgado with the big move, 3 wide. Now he's got Payne. Payne's gonna dive inside. Burke's. Oh, Delgado tried to block. Man, I think Delgado tried to block Payne, but he's a sitting duck now. There goes Burke shooting outside. Payne trying to block. Coming off of 2 down the back straight. Penn gets a hit. Going to the travel. Side by side. Burke's gonna take the win. Roberge fighting with Payne. Payne gets second. Roberge third, spinning across the line. Striker over here. He looks like his car's wrecked. It's not. It's running, but can't move. There's lots of damage there. Wild race, typical Daytona finish there. We're gonna have to break it down all the way through. Burke survives the melee. We'll start with here. Oh, that's the previous wreck. Let's see, this is where I could find it. We'll back up here. So Delgado makes this insane move, takes him 3 wide, shoots outside, and it causes Striker to go a little bit low on Ross. He's get stuck in the middle here, so he's in a circle hole, no draft. Colbinitz gets into Striker. Colbinitz they're 3 wide. Colbinitz, I don't know if he didn't know they were 3 wide, but he just turns down on the 88. He's trying to follow the 13 ahead of him. I got to say he doesn't know they're 3 wide. They get together. Ross, the 3 of them. There's Donnie with nowhere to go. Gets into Cameron and Hartung. Wipes out all 6 of those cars in one move. Cam's car is actually good. He just got caught. Colbinitz causes that one. And then up here, fight Burke. Payne. I think Delgado was trying to block Payne. He should have dived in here, but he chose to stay outside. Payne looks outside. He's got a nose on the 13. 13's trying to block. 13's trying to block, but Payne's already there. Sends Delgado through the grass. It's just a little wall tap there. Keeps it going. Over here, a miss. So Payne, after that, Payne's on his own. He's so far ahead of Burke and Roberge. Biggert stuck on the outside. Burke with a massive run on that draft. Shoots outside. Payne's trying to go block, but Burke's so fast. And then he's trying to come down, I think, on Roberge. There's Payne, maybe a little freeze, going to cut down. Roberge is already there, though. Oh, he's not. He just has the speed. At this point, nobody's lifting. Roberge goes to block the 98. 98's not lifting. Neither am I. I'm going to stay in it. Payne's going to come back on the track. He gets together with the 98. Oh, man, and Payne still edges him out. But Robert, what a wild finish there that last lap. Burke survives the melee. We're going to speak to these guys. What a crazy Daytona race. Typical Daytona stuff. Lots of action. Chris Robert survives the melee at the end. Chris, overall the race pretty wild, right?
It's a wild thing, of course. Yeah, it's a wild.
How was your thought process coming in? We know Daytona, at least in my opinion, it's a pretty a big luck of the draw kind of race where you put your car. Lot of mental skill involved on where the line's moving, what to do. What were you thinking coming into Daytona?
It's just a lot of saving tires, saving fuel for sure, because I was just trying to think tires, save my car, or fuel, I mean, sorry. Save my car much as I can and try and get a good finish. And third place, pretty much a first place for me.
Them a good job there throughout the race there. Caution brakes helping out. A couple yellows. Was fuel a worry there towards the end? Did you guys have enough to make it?
I had enough fuel. Jeremiah and Strike were getting pretty low, so they didn't know if they're gonna make it. So I just trying to get up ahead of them, but I just might as well stay in the back just in case there's a wreck or something like that. I just stayed up there.
Talk to me towards the end there with all the wrecks happening. You see guys spinning around. What are you thinking with we're on the last lap, so we're just racing to the line now. There's not going to be a yellow. You're avoiding the wrecks. You see these guys wrecking. How do you put that out of your mind and keep your head down? What are your thought process there?
I'm just not worrying about it. I just keep on going until the flags, with a check flag, I just keep on going.
Towards off the final corner there, Andrew trying to block you guys. Of course, you guys were a bit behind him, so you got that draft. You, Burke, and yourself. Burke clears Andrew. Andrew cuts down ahead of you. At that moment, coming to the checkered, it's everything's out the window, right? Nobody's lifting at that point.
Yeah, I was helping Jeremiah there, so we're sort of like a teammate there. We're helping each other there. So I try and push Jeremiah up ahead. When I saw Andrew going up to kind of slow Burke down, but that didn't work well. And then Andrew just saw me going down below him, so we're trying to do a split and get him really confused. But Andrew decided to block a teeny bit. I kind of bumped him, and then we're just fight to the nail, right to the line, and third is good. We both apologize and said, it's record to the record right at the end, and we did.
Yep, everybody going for it there. No friends towards the end of the race towards the line. Next week, a whole different track. Phoenix, a bit of a short track, a mile and a half track with the dog leg. Not a fan of the dog leg. You can cut the corner more or less there. How do you think you fare at Phoenix?
I'm not a fear of it. I'm not a dog leg cutter. I don't like to do that because when you hit that flat, your tires, you actually lose it quite a bit on the apron, no matter what. And same tires, you just run the track on the surface and you will save more better tires that way.
Awesome. Well, congrats on surviving the melee throughout the race. Lots of big wrecks and towards the end of the race. Give us some shout-outs.
Yes, big thanks to the Shop broadcasting here. Thank you for broadcasting us. Big thanks for Shop Racing League for putting it up. This great league here with a bunch of like 4 different leagues that I'm in, except the GT3s, but that's okay. But all above, big thanks to my good friends with Red Gods on there. He's probably cheering me on. My big support is asking my wife. She loves watching my race.
Always can't forget the wife there. Appreciate the kind words. We'll see you next week at Phoenix.
Yep.
Chris Roberts, I lost Discord for a second. I couldn't find it in my my Windows. Chris Roberts, your third place finisher up next is Andrew Payne with a wild finish for second place there with Roberts. But before we get to that, wild race in general, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I from getting spun out in the lead to getting spun out in the lead, coming to the white flag or checkered flag, it was it was one heck of a race. And man, with how this season's gone, I will take a second place.
Definitely showing some progress in the stock car racing a little. We know you can burn it down in the Xfinity. What's different about the next gen cars? Is it just the talent, or is the car that much different?
Well, I know for a fact I don't have a lot of laps in the next gen in comparison to some of these guys. I don't really practice a whole lot during the week. Obviously, that probably should change a little bit. Things are just like in real life. They're a little closer together. Tire wear is a little less than the Xfinity cars. I still haven't quite learned how to manage tires super well here. These guys have run an additional season that I didn't run the last season we were here. And, it's just, they are different cars. The Xfinity cars haven't changed in years, so, you sort of, as the longer you run a certain car and they do minimal updates, the better you're going to get. And these next gen cars are so brand new that most of us all, started driving these cars at the same time. So we're all learning together. I mean, it's been a couple years since they came out, but they're still updating these cars all the time. And, it's just hard. It's hard to learn certain cars sometimes. And this is one that I don't particularly know too well. Like I said, I'm still learning, but super speedway wise, I really enjoy how these cars drive. I have a few laps around here. I actually ran the NIS race last night, so I got an extra 92 laps of practice. So, it takes time. It ultimately takes time. I'll hopefully get there by the end of the season, but just ultimately trying to have fun with this, not worry about points racing, not worry about racing for wins super hard all the time. I just want to come out and have fun and ultimately not burn myself out of the sim again like I did before.
I definitely know that feeling, and I gotta agree with you with these cars being an equalizer. Even in the sim, was never a cup racer. I was an Xfinity racer, and that car is definitely hard. One of the hardest cars I think to drive in the sim. But this car I've taken a liking. It's probably my favorite car in the sim, mostly because it's an equalizer. I got to agree with you there. Daytona in general, lots of big wrecks, big crashes. Game plan coming in, just kind of playing it by ear. What were you thinking?
Came in with, like I said, having had a race last night to sort of know how these cars are going to drive with this, day to night, fuel load, everything like that. I don't like to run for stages if I can help it. Obviously, I'm not locked in right now, so I sort of had to run for some stage points there. I mean, ultimate goal is obviously to win, but I stayed out at the end of the stage one because I knew I could save fuel to the end, and then I had an incident there where I pushed the pusher and got a little squirrely and had to go to the back right at the towards the tail end of stage two. And which is okay because it set me up really good for the beginning of stage 3. I didn't have to come in and take tires. I could just top off because I had done it previous caution, and it put me back up into the top 5, and from there it was just a game of. Originally, it was a game of saving fuel because we stopped a couple laps too early for what I had planned. But we got a caution with about 35 to go, put us in a really, really good spot for fuel. Didn't really have to save. I was really committed to pushing Cam or Nate, or I was committed to those guys. We'd worked really well all night. There's a few kind of questionable instances of some interesting blocks with about 20 to go, and put me out front. And I had a little bit of a moment there off of 2, coming to 2 to go, or coming to the white flag. Apologies. And I don't know how I saved that car. I guess having had that happen to me twice last night, I got a little bit of practice trying to save it. And the last lap was a little chaotic. I don't like making contact with guys. The contact into 3. My spotter said there was a car there, and I don't know what happened there, but my spotter said car high, and sort of had to race down to the yellow line, and obviously I don't think we can pass below the yellow line, so I sort of hung there and accidentally turned a guy off my nose. And I know Jeremiah and Chris both were going to have massive runs, and I was talking to Jeremiah before, and I told him I was like, I was going to block you, but not to the wall. Me and him have worked really well together. He actually pushed me to an Xfinity win here, so I have a little bit of extra respect for him. So I left the lane up high, and then I came down and blocked Chris's run a little bit, and he got to my bumper and got me a little loose, and all is fair in love and war. I blocked his run, and he got me a little loose. I'm not upset about that, and we door banged to the line, and that was fun. Huge congrats to Jeremiah and Chris, and everyone in the top 5. That was some really, really fun racing. Appreciate all the pushes all night, and yeah, this it's really hard. I know you asked me about strategy. I had a strategy coming in, and it was very hard to fully strategize these races with how either chaotic or unchaotic these races can be. But any knowledge about how these things go is always helpful. So I appreciate being able to run last night how I did, and know what I knew coming into tonight. But like I said, it's a challenge, because these things can go green the entire way, or we can have some cautions like we did tonight.
Definitely a tough track. Daytona is, in the instance of you're always around someone, you don't really have a break. Unlike the next track we're coming to is Phoenix. It's a short track. Lap traffic definitely can be a key, but Phoenix, I think, a track you're good at.
Yeah, Phoenix is probably arguably one of my better tracks on the sim. New Phoenix is a little iffy, and like I said, I'm still learning these cars, but I enjoy Phoenix a lot. It's probably the track I have the most wins at in the sim, but it should be a good one. Phoenix has always put on a good show. I'm sure, I'm going to have to learn how to save a little bit of tire there, because if I remember right, history shows that it's a high tire wear on the right rear track. Should be good. I don't quite know the lap count for that race, but I'm sure I'll look at it and figure out fuel strategy and all that stuff ahead of time, probably in the practice before the race, as I seemingly always do. But definitely looking forward to that one.
Absolutely. Phoenix is one of a track I've been to many a time since I was about 4 or 5, so that's got a special place in my heart, and I'm so happy to be broadcasting that and watch you guys put on a great show like tonight. But good job in second place. Great job or great night for Ford. We usually see a bunch of Chevys up front, so I'm happy with the top 3 for Fords. I'm biased, and I'll admit it. But give us some shout-outs.
First and foremost, huge thanks to you, Joe, for broadcasting these races as always. Really do appreciate it. You've stepped into the booth, and you've done a really good job so far this season, and really appreciate it. Huge shout out to John and Stryker for putting on the league, putting on the series. I really enjoy it. After taking a season off, I've really enjoyed the next gen so far, even if they haven't been, some of my better races, but it's still a blast to come out and run these on Friday nights. Huge shout out to all my partners: Ryko Performance, QuickTime Motorsports Media, Hum Metal Fab, Citrus Hot Sound Mower, ASRC. Huge shout out to Cam and Nathan. I know we're not, officially a team, but I do, we always work together each and every week, and, really appreciate their their help tonight, especially with the pushes, and glad to be able to work with them. Huge shout out to all the other fellow competitors as well, Chris, Jeremiah, all those guys. It is really fun to come out and run with these guys. Most of the time we have some really, really clean racing, and there is a lot of respect shown between the drivers. Huge shout out to both my parents and grandparents for supporting me in all my forms of racing. As always, would not be here talking to you without them. And last but certainly not least, huge shout out to all the fans that come out and support you, the broadcast, the league, the drivers. Without you guys, we would probably not be doing this as often. So you guys' support means a lot, and looking forward to next week.
Awesome. We'll see you next week. I appreciate the kind words for myself, for you to myself, and to Chop Shop as a whole. But we'll see you next week. Put on a great show at Phoenix.
Yep. Thank you.
It's Andrew Payne there, finishing in second with a good side-by-side battle with Christian Parrish. It's like he mentioned towards the end. It's all fair. The checker flag's right there. You block, I'm going to hit you. We're going to run side-by-side, door bang towards the end. But our winner here tonight, Jeremiah Burke, who escapes the melee at the end in prime position. I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. The place I want to be is second or third, coming in the white in a single file line, especially with the big gap you had towards Andrew there at the end. It just kind of fell in place there a bit. So a little luck, but definitely knowledgeable skill to know where to put your car throughout the race. How was Daytona overall tonight?
Well, yeah, it was just a day. We just got to kind of maneuver to get to track position and then be patient, because you can't do a lot of passing here, and if you do, you get passed right back. So it's more just the racing in this next gen car is got to be a little more patient and just kind of let the runs come to you, and then take it and then pounce when the time's right. But had a really fast Ford Mustang right there, looked like all Ford podium, so that's good.
Absolutely a great night for Ford. I'm a big supporter and always will be. So I'm happy. But coming into Daytona, we know it's such a crapshoot sometimes. You're riding, you could be first, last, by yourself and get wrecked. What are your thoughts coming in? How do you attack Daytona?
So I am a firm believer that they should fill this place in with water and race boats here. But I kind of just I come in here with nothing to lose. I am usually very good at just trying to stay out of trouble and be there at the end, and that's my goal. Normally I'll like to ride in the back a lot, but these cars and the inability to pass, I just want to get a comfortable spot in the top 10, let the first 2/3 of the race play out, and then get on the strategy and try to get to the front and make things happen at the end.
Stage brakes helping out with fuel mileage there, and a couple cautions throughout the way. Jumping around the driver's channel in Discord, I hear talks of fuel. I think Stryker and I believe it was yourself or maybe someone else, but were you guys having some fuel concerns?
So me and Stryker decided we were gonna top off there at the end of the second stage, and we were gonna run it. So our intention was to stay out the whole last stage and save. And when we had that first caution in the last stage, we made the mistake of staying out, and we had to continue to save when everybody else was good on gas for the whole rest of that run till that green-white checkered. So that's why you saw us. We were kind of third and fourth there in line, not pushing, because we had to be on a number. We were on a number, and we had to be on it. So, of course, once that last caution came out, we were able to put gas in it, then it was all fine and dandy from there, and we were able to race it out.
Pretty much go time there after that last yellow. Good break for you guys to race it out. The end of the race, it coming to the white, taking the white, it's just a melee after that. Guys not giving room, not giving a break, people cutting people off. What do you think there? How do you position your car? It's so chaotic. And things happen so quick. How do you, as a driver, break that down in such quick succession, one after another?
I'm honestly still trying to replay what happened in my head right there, because I believe I led the white flag lap, and then at some point I was like fourth or fifth, and then I managed to get back to, and then all of a sudden there were no cars around me, and then I was able to get back past Andrew. So I'm not entirely even sure what happened on that last lap. So all it is you kind of gotta be smart. When you see cars coming, you can't block somebody that's got 15, 20 mile an hour on you. You gotta just kind of hold your lane and let them pass, like I did coming into 1 and 2 there. And then I moved up, kind of got into bigger a little bit, and we squeezed, and then whatever happened with Payne on the back straightaway, I saw him get the lead, and then I knew he was going to have the run, so I went back to him, and I know if I could get to his right rear coming out of 4, then I was going to win the race if we didn't go to the wall. So he knew that too, and he was starting to fade up the track, but luckily we had Roberge there behind us also wanting to win the race. So when I went up, he went down. Payne can't block us both, and he proceeded to not. So it kind of, we didn't go to the wall. He didn't. Roberge had some room. Ended up being a great battle to the finish.
And you mentioned things kind of just happened there. You just put the car where you feel you need to at the moment. And that's what I like to call driver instinct, experience, knowledge, racing knowledge, and just instinct there. Sometimes, a lot of times, really, we don't really think of what to do. It just kind of happens, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just, it just happens. You just turn the wheel and rely on what you think is the right move. And I think everybody kind of does that, and some of those instincts aren't exactly right, and that's why we end up in these big pileups at the end of the race. So it's there's some luck, there's some skill, it's a lot of hand-eye coordination and practice. I mean, I've turned so many laps at these super speedways. I think it's just it's almost like my hands don't even, my brain doesn't realize what's going on until after it's happened, and then you kind of like you let all the emotions settle after it's over, and then you can see what just happened. Are you parked on the infield with smoke come out of the car, or did you win the race?
Yeah, I definitely get that feeling. I'm sure a lot of us have where we're turning laps and you kind of space out, and all of a sudden you're 10, 20 laps in, and you're like, where did those last few laps go, right?
Yeah, and especially, in this Chop Shop League, everybody is so good. It's just, you got, the focus is there because, I mean, you don't get the mistakes a lot of times that other leagues or other drivers make in some of the other leagues I run in, there's a lot of green flag racing, and you can't afford to make mistakes or you'll lose the whole pack.
Absolutely, a lot of talent here in the race, and you finishing on top, Daytona. A lot of people call it an equalizer. I call it a lot of knowledgeable racing, kind of chess, right? But definitely a great job on your part for doing what you need to do. Next week it's Phoenix, 225 laps. It's a good amount of time. It's going to be a pretty good race. How do you think you're going to do there?
Hey, it's my home track, my favorite track. I love that place. I don't think I've ever driven a NextGen car around it, but we'll practice this week, and I'll try to be up here talking to you again there.
Awesome. We'll look forward to it. Phoenix definitely a special place in my heart. My family has been going there since they had the grandstands in the backstretch way back when. So,
I used to sit and bake in those grandstands myself.
Oh, yeah, when the sun... So I like what they did now, how they face the grandstand so the sun's behind you.
Yes.
Never sat on the... Sorry?
I said it's so much nicer now.
Oh, yeah. And the infield remote, you can see into the garages now walking. I love what they did to that track. They need to do that to every track, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
But great job here. Give us some shout-outs. Who do you want to thank?
Thank you. I want to, of course, thank Stryker and John for putting this on, and Payne for running me clean all the time. I really like being able to beat him, so that's good. Honestly, everybody in this league is great. It's my first Chop Shop win across all the leagues, so really happy about that. Of course, I got my teammate Albert Anderson on the other side of this and the other leagues I run, and he's a great supporter. He usually watches all these races that I'm in. Without him, Mike and Larry and all of them too. So, of course, I couldn't do this without my kids letting me have all this fun. So, while they're running around terrorizing the house. We're going to go take them out to dinner to celebrate. It'll be a great night.
There you go. Celebrate with the family. We'll see you next week at Phoenix.
Sounds good. See you there.
Jeremiah Burke comes out on top, ahead of the melee, ahead of the chaos. I don't think he did burnouts, though. Yeah, he just parked it. Do burnouts next time. I got to take pictures. They look cool. I'll take a picture of you leading the... Oh, is this during a pit stop? Maybe I'm too early. Hold on. Maybe he did do burnouts. That was just like during a wreck. Maybe... I might have went too far back. I thought that was the end of the race. I need to find... yeah, there we go. Oh, there it is. Gotta show the burn. I missed it reviewing the crash. So they just finished. I thought that was the end of the race. I thought he parked it in the pit roads. He had to have done burnouts. His first Chop Truck win. There's the fireworks. That's so cool. Especially at a fireworks at Dora doing dirt racing. It's pretty cool to watch. They sound kind of weird though, but they make great pictures. Here we go, coming off into the travel. Uh-oh. Is it dead? I think it's dead. That might have been it for fuel. Oh, there it goes. There you go. Jeremiah Burke taking the win at Daytona. Awesome racing. Survives the melee. There's Robert. Our race results here. Burke comes out on top. Payne, Robert side by side finish. Lots of contact towards the end. They do what they got to do. Coming towards the finish line. Payne edges out Robert's. Biggert. Delgado. Just a late block, I think, on Payne there. Got stuck on the outside. But great finish still. Finishing fifth. Donnie, Dario, Ross, Stryker comes out in ninth after that wreck. He managed to get it across the line, I think. Not too sure if he got stuck in the grass there. Hartung, only the top 8 on the lead lap. Dacuna, Colbinetz, Miller, Coulter, Balsamo, Day, Malcolm, Hammond. These guys towards the back, just fortunate. Lots of wrecks here. Culver, Jerry, again, just bad luck. Just the worst luck in the world, Jerry. Salas and Caffrey with really hard hits there earlier in the race. It's going to shake up the point standings. This is your points coming into the race. We'll update them and then give you updated points next race. I really wish SDK would update them on the fly. You can put in how many points to add. But Cameron's going to lose a little bit to Biggert. Biggert finished 4th. Cameron finished 7th. A little bit of a gap's going to close up there. He might overtake him, though. Day definitely going to lose a lot of... points there, a lot of ground. He's finishing way in 16th, so a big shakeup there for the top 3. Stryker finishing pretty good there, might stay relatively where he's at. But good finish tonight at Daytona. Great crazy racing. Next week is Phoenix. This weekend is Gen 4 Cup racing. I gotta check real fast. Let's see where they're at for the Gen 4. We did Darlington, Michigan, Nashville, Poconos next. The Poconos a really wild track there. It's tricky. They call it the tricky triangle for a reason. Every corner is different. Every corner is run differently. One of them's flat out. The other 2 are pretty tight. Modeled after a couple different tracks there. We'll go over it there. Don't miss it next week at Chop Shop TV. Gen 4 racing. Very fast cars. They're like 700 something horsepower. It's nuts. I still haven't raced those cars. I should give it a try sometime. But I appreciate everybody watching. All of you still watching. All of you that did watch. All of you that's going to watch. For joining us at Chop Shop TV Daytona night tonight. Just insane racing. Daytona really puts it on a great show. Good finishes. Congrats to Burke. That's going to do it for us tonight. We'll see you this Sunday.